Listen closely. That voice in your head isn't background noise. It's the foreman of your future. It's setting blueprints while you brush your teeth, laying beams while you drive, signing permits while you sleep. Your self-talk is not a diary. It's a design. The way you speak to yourself becomes the way you move, and the way you move becomes the life you live. If you've ever wondered why two people with the same tools build such different houses, check the conversation at their workbench. Words are levers. Pull the right one and heavy things finally lift. Start with a plain truth. You're not obligated to believe every sentence your mind broadcasts. That inner voice is more like a town radio than a town judge. Some programs inform, some entertain, some alarm. You don't smash the radio for playing a rough tune. You reach for the dial. And yes, you can tune it. The first skill of destiny building is to notice the station you're on. When your mood dips or your shoulders rise to your ears, halt for 10 seconds and ask, what am I saying to myself right now? Name the headline in a few words. I always mess this up. No one wants what I make. If I try, I'll get embarrassed. Naming the tune doesn't make it true, but it puts the dial in your hand. Now use the 3-chair rule. Picture 3 chairs in your mind: the judge, the bystander, and the coach. The judge is loud, sure, and stingy with hope. The bystander shrugs, says nothing, and lets the day drift. The coach is specific, honest, and aimed at improvement. When you catch your headline, put it in a chair. If it's judge or bystander, relocate it. Say aloud, quietly if you must, slide over. The coach is speaking. Then change the sentence from verdict to guidance. Judge says, you're terrible at this. Coach says, you're learning this. Here's the next drill. Bystander says, whatever. Coach says, we've got 10 minutes. Set the timer. Nobody got strong under a critic's lash or a spectator's silence. People improve under the steady hand of a good coach. Be that hand for yourself. Your coach needs a playbook. Begin with the hinge word, because. Tie your self-talk to values you respect and actions you can take. I'll speak up because clarity beats regret. I'll practice now because keeping my word builds trust. I'm nervous and I act anyway because service matters more than my image. A because turns fog into road. It doesn't pretend there's no rain. It points the car where it must go. Remember, your brain is a loyal assistant. It prioritizes anything you justify. Give it a working reason and it will start hauling lumber where it belongs. Add the 2 friendliest words in the English language. For now. They pry open stuck doors. I'm not great at this for now. I don't know the answer for now. Those 2 words invite progress to the table and kick fatalism out of the chair. Pair them with yet when you need an extra hinge. I can't hold the room yet. I don't have the stamina yet. This is not sugary pep talk. It's accurate biology. Skill grows on reps, and reps only happen when the voice inside believes effort is worth the sweat. Guard 3 qualities of good self-talk like a farmer guards seed. Make it true, useful, and kind. True means no lies on either side. Not the harsh exaggerations that call a stumble a catastrophe, and not the cotton candy that denies a problem exists. Useful means it points toward a behavior you can do before the minute hand moves twice. Kind doesn't mean soft. It means respectful. The way you'd speak to a promising apprentice who deserves clarity without cruelty. Test your sentence. If it fails any of the three, rewrite it on the spot. You blew it, you always blow it, fails all three. You missed the deadline. Adjust your estimate by 20% and notify early next time passes. The coach would nod. Install a short daily ritual to keep the radio tuned. Call it the morning brief. No more than 60 seconds. Stand tall enough for your lungs to work like bellows. Breathe in slow, out slower. Then speak 3 lines, present tense, specific, tied to action. I choose to keep one small promise before 9. I serve with clarity. My words are simple and aim to help. When I feel the wobble, I count down from 5 and begin. The rules are strict because they work. Present tense to tell your brain the job is today, specific to give your hands something to do, and action linked so the sentence doesn't float like a balloon. It pulls like a harness. Rewrite the way you argue with yourself. Most folks lose the debate because they try to drown the judge with praise or ignore him until he shouts. Do what seasoned negotiators do. Acknowledge, reframe, and propose. You're saying I might look foolish. A nod to the worry drains its drama. True, I could. Also true, looking foolish occasionally is the tuition for learning. A reframe tilts the lens to include cost and benefit. Let's run a small test today, 2 minutes, and I'll review what I learn. A proposal puts the talk back to work. 3 moves, 30 seconds, and the storm inside quiets to a breeze you can sail. Keep a self-talk ledger for 2 weeks. It's not a diary of feelings. It's a record of sentences that move the needle. Morning column, your 3 lines from the brief. Midday column, 1 sentence you used when pressure rose and your hands didn't drop the tools. Evening column, 1 sentence you wish you'd had ready for a moment that tangled you. That 3rd column is gold. Turns hindsight into preparation. Over days, you'll notice favorites emerging, short, strong phrases that carry weight. These become your pocket tools, the little wrenches you can find without looking when a bolt won't budge. Build a toolbox of interrupts for when the judge barges in with a megaphone. Picture 3. The record scratch, the name it, and the turn to verb. The record scratch is a physical cue. Tap your wrist or tug your earlobe, paired with a short command. Stop. Reframe. Is a circuit breaker. The name it is a label spoken softly. Catastrophizing. Mind reading. All or nothing. Naming the distortion pops the bubble. Magicians hate when you reveal the trick. The turn to verb is your escape. Replace the spinning thought with a verb you can perform. Outline intro. Email draft. Fill 3 cells. You can't sink while you're rowing. Oars beat whirlpools every time. Mind your mouth in that private room behind your teeth. If you wouldn't say it to a hardworking friend, don't say it to yourself. That's not coddling. That's fairness. The person who hears you most is you. If your inner language becomes consistently mean, your body wears it like a heavy coat, and soon your choices hunch under the weight. You won't run far dressed like that. Choose a coat you can work in. Sturdy words, practical warmth, no spikes on the inside. Upgrade affirmations into directions. A sentence like, I am confident, slaps paint on a wall that still needs sanding. Try this instead. I act on the next useful step. I speak to serve one person in the room. I keep a steady breath and a steady pace. Direction builds confidence, not the other way around. When your feet obey your words, your feelings respect your feet. That's the sequence old craftsmen trust. Do the small right thing, then let pride arrive as a quiet guest. Give worry a schedule. 10 minutes near sundown. Set a timer and let the judge present his cases. Write each concern as a single sentence. Then answer as the coach with a one-line if-then. If I freeze during the update, then I'll read the prepared line and exhale. If the proposal is rejected, then I'll ask for one change that would make it a yes. Close the book when the bell rings. Outside those 10 minutes, when worry tries to filibuster, you can tell it, you've got an appointment. Not now. Boundaries aren't rude. They're civilized. Watch the words that leak into your sentences like slow dye. Always, never, everyone, no one, ruined, perfect, disaster. These are swamp words. Step around them. Trade always for often, never for rarely, everyone for 3 people, ruined for complicated. Precision cuts the knot of panic. I always fail at interviews becomes, I stumbled twice last year. I improved 1 answer this week. That's a sentence a sane person can work with. And you are sane, just flooded sometimes. Words drain the water. Keep your body a partner in this project. Self-talk rides a nervous system with dials and switches. A long exhale is a master switch. It tells your body that lions are not in the room. A short walk, shoulders down, jaw unclenched, is a tune that keeps the radio from slipping to static. Drink water before coffee. Hunger makes your judge theatrical. This is not decoration. It's infrastructure. You think with a body, not just a brain, and your sentences speak louder when your pulse isn't pounding like a misfiring engine. You'll need companionship, too. Share your morning brief with one reliable person, not for applause, for witness. Trade a single done message at day's end. The sentence you used when it mattered. Keep it short. No sermons. People who want to live well help each other hold the dial. A kind friend is a good antenna. They pick up signals you miss when your own roof crackles in the storm. Finally, begin small today. Choose one moment that reliably rattles you. First email, first meeting, first rep, and write the coach's sentence you'll use there. Tape it at eye level or set it as your phone's first alarm. When the moment arrives, speak the line quietly and move your hands. Then write down what happened, not what you feared. You're building evidence, and evidence is heavier than feelings in the long run. That's how destiny gets its shape. Not from a grand declaration, but from hundreds of small, honest sentences that aim your feet where you mean to go. This is the doorway. You don't need to fix a lifetime of language tonight. You need to notice one headline, choose one chair, and change one sentence into something true, useful, and kind. Do that, and the day feels different under your shoes. We'll carry this forward next, turning these pocket lines into durable habits, shaping routines that keep the dial steady when pressure climbs. So your self-talk stops flirting with fate and starts directing it like a careful conductor who knows the score and cares for the players. Here's the secret most folks miss. Your self-talk doesn't need to be inspiring. It needs to be installed. A line you can't find when the heat rises is as useful as a hammer left in the shed. So let's wire your words into the walls of your day. Simple, sturdy, automatic. Start with triggers, not willpower. Tie key sentences to ordinary moments you can't miss. The first doorknob you touch each morning. The first sip of water. The click of your computer lid. The moment your shoes meet the floor. At each cue, the coach gets the microphone. Doorknob. I choose the next useful step. Water. I breathe long. I move steady. Laptop. Serve one person clearly. Shoes. Begin before I'm ready. It feels small because it is, and that's why it works. Habit loves humility. Upgrade the morning brief into a dayline. A single sentence that becomes the spine of the hours ahead. Write it on a card or your lock screen. Make it short enough to say in one breath while you walk from one room to the next. Clarity over comfort. Small steps soon. Because service. The dayline is not a charm. It's a compass. When the day tilts, you set it upright by speaking your sentence and asking, what does that look like in the next 5 minutes? A compass that never points north is a toy. Test yours by using it. Build call and response into your routine. This is the rhythm that keeps choirs on pitch and workers on pace. Call. The moment that usually knocks you off balance. Calendar reminder, meeting chime, the ping of a message. Response. A pre-written line that puts your hands back on the work. Meeting chime. Speak to serve one person. Calendar reminder. One clear sentence first. Message ping. Read, breathe, reply with facts and a next step. Do this for the 3 most frequent rattles in your day and you'll be amazed how quickly the floor stops creaking. Create a tiny script shelf where you do your hardest work. Not a metaphor. Make it real. A sticky note on your monitor. An index card taped inside your notebook. A short list pinned above the sink. Where your eyes fall when your confidence wobbles. On that shelf, place your best 3 coach lines, 1 interrupt, and 1 contingency. Coach. Start with a verb. Serve one person. Breathe long. Speak short. Interrupt. Tug earlobe plus stop. Reframe. Contingency. If stuck 60 seconds, write the worst possible first draft. The shelf is your quiet foreman. It points, you move. Turn the true, useful, kind test into a speed check you run in 3 heartbeats. Heartbeat 1, true. Is this sentence accurate? Heartbeat 2, useful. Does it name a behavior I can do now? Heartbeat 3, kind. Would I say this to a friend I respect? If any beat stumbles, swap the sentence. This little metronome will save you hours of rumination because it refuses to fund lies, drift, or self-contempt. You're not trying to feel invincible. You're trying to keep the crew on task. Plant yard posts across your day, 3 fixed moments when you'll straighten the fence. Morning, midday, evening. At each post, ask the same 3 questions out loud if you can. What am I saying to myself? Which chair is speaking? What's the coach's next sentence? Answer in a breath and do the named action before you move on. Yard posts prevent the slow lean that turns into a crooked gait by sundown. Consistency beats intensity because your future is built of Tuesdays, not fireworks. Practice replacing identity labels with identity commitments. Instead of, "I'm a procrastinator," try, "I'm the kind of person who starts with a 2-minute action." Instead of, "I'm bad at conflict," try, "I'm the kind of person who names one clear need and listens for one clear need in return." Identity labels freeze you. Commitments aim you. They also recruit your pride in the right direction. Folks will do remarkable things to stay consistent with who they believe they are. Give yourself a belief worth living up to, then prove it with small deeds until it's simply true. When pressure climbs, many people reach for more words and get tangled. You'll do the opposite. Fewer words, stronger verbs. Build a hard moment mantra of 5 words or fewer. All muscle, no lace. Breathe. Begin. Bring the next. Steady hands, simple sentence. Serve. Don't perform. Speak it as you place your feet. The brain respects brevity under load. It hears a clear order and recruits your body to comply. Install a before-send rule. 1 sentence you say aloud before you ship anything under your name. Is this clear, kind, and complete enough to be helpful? That question tunes your self-talk from self-protection to service. You'll spend fewer minutes worrying about how you look and more energy ensuring someone else can use what you made. Destiny bends toward those who reliably help. Make your words push in that direction. Give the judge a job he can't botch. Quality control at a specific time for a specific task with a specific checklist. Invite him in at the right moment. At 3:30, you can critique this draft using these 5 questions about clarity and usefulness. Until then, he's off the floor. This scheduled scrutiny harvests his one talent, spotting weak joints, without letting him run the whole shop. Even your inner critic wants a shift schedule. Give him one. Let's talk about memory. The mind is notorious for misfiling victories and spotlighting stumbles. If you want tomorrow's self-talk to be stronger, you must feed it honest proof. Keep a lines that worked page, a running list of sentences that helped you act, decide, recover, or connect. Not inspirational quotes. Your lines, forged in your day, said, "Let's pilot this with 5 users." Outcome, greenlit. Said to self, read the first line, exhale. Outcome, finished the presentation. Read this page on Friday. It's your private ledger of competence. Confidence built on evidence holds in bad weather. When a mood knocks you down a rung, don't wrestle it, reposition it. Say, mood is weather, not law. Then choose a weather-appropriate action. Rain? Work indoors on a small fix. Wind? Anchor with a checklist. Heat? Slow down. Steady exhale. Naming the climate tucks your feelings into a useful story. You don't shame a storm. You take an umbrella and get on with the walk. Turn rumination into rehearsal. If your mind insists on replaying an awkward moment, redirect it. Fine, but we rehearse the correction. Speak the improved line. Next time I'll say, here's what I can do by Thursday, and here are 2 options if you need it sooner. Repeat it 3 times while walking. Now the loop pays rent. It lays track for tomorrow rather than carving a rut in yesterday. Use 2 truths and a try after any wobble. Truth 1. A sober fact about what happened. I missed the deadline. Truth 2. A sober fact about what's still intact. The client still wants the result. Try one small change you'll test. Set alerts 2 days earlier and draft the outline before lunch. This trio prevents the judge's tantrum and the bystander's shrug. It gives the coach something to coach. Mind the words you choose when you talk about time. Trade, I don't have time, for it isn't my priority. A sentence that either frees you without guilt or nudges you to align your choices with your stated values. Replace I have to with I choose to when the choice is real. Your shoulders will drop, your tone will level, and your actions will scan as voluntary, which invites more energy. Your calendar hears your grammar. Build a tiny ceremony for starting and stopping, the way craftspeople sweep the floor before and after a shift. Start up, 1 breath, 1 dayline, 1 first verb. Shut down, 1 line for tomorrow's start, tools in place, a brief good work to yourself even if the day was bumpy. These bookends train your nervous system to expect rhythm rather than chaos. Rhythm, not raw effort, is how long roads are walked. When you teach others, your self-talk sharpens. Offer one of your pocket lines to a junior colleague or a child. Say, I'm learning this, here's my next drill. The moment the words leave your mouth, you'll find yourself living up to them. Instruction is a mirror. It shows you what you believe and what you merely say. Choose to be a person whose speech and steps match, and watch your destiny take that shape. Don't be surprised when progress feels quiet. Loud days often belong to the judge. He stomps and slams doors. The coach runs a steady shop. You'll notice fewer insults and more instructions, fewer grand pronouncements and more small starts. This is good. A river cuts canyons without shouting. Let your sentences do their work, short, clear, daily. Each one is a chisel tap. Over time, the stone yields. Let's turn to social self-talk, the words you use in a room which echo in your head later. Before you speak, ask, will this build, blur, or bruise? Build adds clarity or encouragement. Blur adds fog. Bruise adds harm. Speak the builders. Cut the blurs. Refuse the bruises. After the meeting, your private voice borrows the tone you gave others. Treat them well to train your echo. Carry this line for any room that intimidates you. I'm here to be useful, not impressive. Say it before you enter. Say it when your chest tightens. Then act accordingly. Ask a clean question, summarize 1 point, volunteer a concrete help. Your private verdict after will be kinder because you lived your value rather than chasing approval. Approval is a wind. Service is a handle. Finally, give yourself a 2-minute evening rehearsal for tomorrow's most important moment. See the scene, feel the twinge, speak your first sentence, breathe the long exhale, imagine the next verb. Athletes warm up, so do good neighbors. You're just rehearsing being the person you already decided to be. That's how words become wood and nails. Spoken on purpose, repeated with respect, connected to the next act. Today, pick 3 cues and tie 1 line to each. Post your script shelf. Write your dayline and put it where your eyes can't miss it. Use the 2 truths and a try at least once. Close the shop with a single line for morning. None of this is flashy. All of it is foundational. The house you live in tomorrow is framed by sentences you speak today. Next, we'll take these installed lines into harder weather, stress, conflict, criticism, and show you how to keep your voice steady when other voices rise, how to absorb heat without scalding yourself, and how to turn even rough words into lumber for your future. That's where destiny gets its depth. Not merely in calm kitchens, but in hot kitchens where you still cook something worth serving. Hard weather is where language earns its keep. Under stress, your heart drums faster, your breath climbs the ladder, and the old judge grabs the mic with a siren in his hand. This is not a character flaw, it's a fire alarm. Your job is not to smash the alarm, it's to guide the people to the exits, your people being your thoughts, your words, your choices. In tough moments, conflict, criticism, high stakes, you don't need poetry. You need procedure. Give your self-talk 3 marching orders. Lower the temperature, narrow the target, name the next move. Temperature first, long exhale, shoulders low. Target next. What matters most in the next 5 minutes? Move last. Say 1 clear sentence that serves. Most panics are furnaces without thermostats. Be the thermostat. Start with stress before it turns into spin. When pressure mounts, deploy the forward reset. Breathe. Name. Act. Breathe 4 count in, 6 count out. Name. Quietly label the emotion like you would label a drawer. Anxious, annoyed, overloaded. Aim. Ask. What outcome would be useful right now? Act. Pick a tiny verb that walks you toward it. This little cadence takes 15 seconds and steals fuel from the judge. You are not denying the heat. You're building a safe kitchen where you can still cook. In conflict, your self-talk sets the table before anyone sits down. Say, curiosity first, correctness later. Follow it with 3 internal promises. I will listen for the need beneath the noise. I will speak 1 honest, short sentence at a time. I will protect the relationship while pursuing the result. Then give your mouth a simple script that keeps you human under friction. Cushion, catch, clarify. Cushion, a respectful opener. I want us both to win here. Catch, repeat the core of what you heard. You're concerned about the timeline and the risk to quality. Clarify, 1 question that moves the ball. If we had to choose, what's the non-negotiable? Your self-talk during this move is calm and carpentry-like. Slow exhale, 1 board at a time. When criticism arrives, and it will if you're moving, run it through your sieve without letting shame pour concrete around your feet. Source, substance, spirit. Is this from someone who carries weight here? What specific behavior are they pointing at? Do they want the work better or just me smaller? Your private line is steady. Take the blow, then take the lesson. If there's a lesson, thank them briefly and name 1 tweak. I'll add an example up front. If there isn't, let it drift downriver. And if their tone stings, you can be both firm and fair with yourself. The delivery was rough. The data helps. This keeps you from drinking the whole cup when all you need is the sip. High-stakes moments make many mouths fast and many minds slow. You'll trade speed for structure. Internally, steady pace, simple words. Externally, use the one clear thing rule. Before you answer in a hot meeting, ask yourself, what is the one clear thing I can contribute that improves the next decision? Then say only that. When your mind tries to pile on extras, your self-talk says, stop at the period. It's astonishing how many fires go out when a short, cool sentence walks into the room. Prepare for heat the way firefighters do with drills. Pick your 3 most common flare-ups: defensive questioning, last-minute changes, blank mind moments, and write a 5-line drill for each. Defensive question. Self-talk. This is not a duel. It's a design review. Out loud. Great question. The trade-off is X versus Y. Here's the smallest test. Last-minute change. Self-talk. Protect quality. Propose options. Out loud. We can hit the date by trimming scope or keep scope by moving the date. Which serves our aim? Blank mind. Self-talk. Long exhale. Read the first line. Out loud. Read the first line you prepared. Practice these in a quiet room. You're not courting trouble. You're robbing it of novelty. In tough conversations, watch out for the 3 mind traps. Mind reading, fortune telling, and magnifying. They slip into your sentences like thorns in wool. Your antidote is a gentle call-out. Story versus fact. Say it inside your head, then separate what you know from what you're guessing. Fact. The email was short. Story. They're angry. Replace the story with a question or a test. I'll ask what matters most to them. This keeps your self-talk from turning a squeak into a symphony of doom. Your voice to yourself sets your voice to others. If your inner monologue is a bark, your outer tone will bite. Before you reply, run the 3-word pre-flight. Build, don't bruise. That doesn't mean you become vague. It means you aim your words like a carpenter aims a nail, directly at the joint. Example. Instead of, this makes no sense, try, I'm missing the link between A and B. Can you walk me through it? Your self-talk during this pivot is simple. Firm, not sharp. Clear, not cruel. There will be days when criticism is accurate and the fix is skill, not spin. Good. That's clay you can shape. Speak to yourself like a coach who wants you to win the season, not the minute. This rep exposed a gap. Rung 15 minutes a day, 5 days. Book it now. Then tell yourself the sentence that keeps your head up in public. I'm learning this. Here's my next drill. You're building an identity that can breathe under scrutiny because it's welded to growth, not to performance theater. When emotions run hot with someone you respect, carry a boundary sentence you can say calmly without apology. I welcome feedback on the work. I won't continue if we attack each other. Your self-talk right before it. Principle, not prickles. Boundaries spoken without heat require strong inner language. Practice them out loud when the room is empty so they're reachable when it's full. Stress often arrives as overload, not opposition. 10 plates, 2 hands. Your private language can turn frenzy into sequence. Say, line up, not light up. Then write 3 lines. Must do, should do, could do. Pick one must. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Your self-talk for those minutes is a metronome. One board, then the next. When the timer ends, take one breath, pick the next board. Overwhelm feeds on vagueness. Sequence starves it. If you must deliver hard news, self-talk for courage and kindness in the same breath. Internally, short, honest, respectful. Out loud, state the fact, state the reason, state the care, state the next step. We're not extending the deadline because quality slipped twice. I know you've carried a heavy load. Let's review scope today and build in a real buffer next cycle. After, your inner voice must resist the judge's shadow show. Say, hard truth told with care is a kindness. Destiny listens to that sentence and adjusts your compass a few degrees toward the kind of leader you mean to be. Your body remains your best ally. In conflict, lower your shoulders and soften your gaze. Your self-talk says, signal safety. Keep your hands still, your chin level, your sentences shorter than your exhale. You can even borrow a line old craftsman used when tempers rose. Let's go by the facts we can check. It's not fancy, but it brings the conversation back to the wood and nails. When you make a visible mistake, and if you're building, someday you will lead with a short confession and a longer correction. Inside, own it, fix it, learn it. Outside, I missed X. I'm doing Y by Thursday noon. Here's how I'll prevent it next time. Then add one line of service. Anything else you need right now? Your private refrain after the call. Stewardship beats shame. Repeat it until your pulse believes you. In the fog of stress, watch your prepositions. Under pressure, people talk it over and around. Your self-talk nudges you to speak to. Talk to the person. Address the problem. Then pick a single human in the room and serve them with your next sentence. This shrinks the room to a size your courage can carry. Here's a strong repair script for relationships after they've frayed. Inside, humility first, clarity second, commitment third. Outside, I'm sorry for my part in this, specifically X. I see how it landed. Next time I'll do Y. Does that address your concern? If the reply is still hot, your internal line is patient. Let them empty the bucket. You do not defend, you stand and listen. Repair is a slow nail. It needs steady taps. Use the two doors in conflict. Door A is ego. Door B is outcome. Ask yourself, which door am I reaching for? If you feel the pull of proving you're right, your self-talk offers a switch. Choose useful over victorious. Walk through door B. Outcome language sounds like this. What decision gets us closer to the result? Or what's the smallest test to reduce the risk? Your future prefers outcomes. It has no shelf for trophies of pride. After the storm, schedule a short after-action with your own voice. 3 lines, 3 lenses. What went better than feared? Where did I wobble? What will I test next time? Record 1 sentence for each. This is not a diary. It's maintenance. Your self-talk will borrow these lines when the next cloud forms. You're writing crib notes for your future self who will one day be grateful you kept them simple. When the noise in your head turns up loud at night, protect your sleep with a last word that's kind and practical. We worked a day's honest day. We'll try again in the morning. If your mind insists on rehearsing, offer the coach a single scene for tomorrow, speak the first line, and close the shop. Your self-talk's job at midnight is not to solve. It's to soothe and signal safety. Tomorrow needs a rested crew. On the hardest days, loss, bad news, plans collapsing, give your inner voice two tasks: dignity and direction. Dignity. This hurts and it matters. Direction. What's the gentlest useful step? That might be drink water, call a friend, write the 3 calls to cancel. Destiny is not only shaped by triumphs, it's also shaped by how you carry grief without breaking the tools. Let your sentences be human. They can cry and still reach for a handhold. There's a final habit that makes all the difference under heat. Pre-commit to your manner. Not the words you'll say, those change, but the way you'll say them. Speak this to yourself before the tough room. I will be calm, clear, and kind. Calm regulates the room. Clear moves the work. Kind preserves the bridge. You won't hit all 3 perfectly. You will hit them more often if you aim. And aiming is self-talk's true gift. It points your face where your feet should go. Today, put 3 of these to work where the wind blows hardest for you. Breathe. Name. To your meeting chime, write a boundary sentence on a card and keep it in your pocket. Draft your 5-line drills for your top 2 flare-ups and rehearse them once before lunch. At day's end, run the after action in 3 sentences and file 1 line onto your lines that worked. Page. This isn't theater. It's carpentry. Boards, nails, rhythm. Next, we'll carry this sturdiness into the long arc: ambition, identity, and direction. How to use self-talk to set a horizon you're proud to sail toward, to make choices that match your values when the options look the same, and to build a future paced not by panic but by purpose. That's where destiny stops being a slogan and becomes a street you can walk with your head up and your hands busy. The long arc of a life doesn't draw itself. It listens to what you say and follows your finger across the map. Ambition, identity, direction. These aren't thunderclaps. They're the steady rhythm of a drum you beat in your own chest, 1 sentence at a time. If part 3 taught you to stay steady in hot kitchens, now you'll choose the kitchen you want to cook in. The right words don't just help you survive the day. They teach the day which way to lean. So take up your pencil and your plainest truth. Self-talk is a compass, not a confetti cannon. It doesn't have to dazzle. It has to point north and keep pointing when the weather turns. Begin by carving a horizon line you can carry in your pocket. Make it 1 sentence, present tense, service forward, and specific enough to steer. I build clarity that helps people act. I strengthen teams so work gets kinder and better. I solve small, real problems with simple, honest tools. No marble, no trumpet. Your horizon is a lighthouse, not a billboard. Read it out loud each morning and ask, what does this look like in the next 5 minutes? That question welds poetry to planks. Ambition that can't be translated into a verb by noon is just a calendar decoration. Now set buoys between you and that light so you don't drift. A buoy is a near-term project with a when, a who, and a why you can state in a breath. By October 1st, deliver a 45-minute workshop that helps new leads run better one-on-ones, because better conversations prevent costly confusion. Your self-talk for buoys is simple. Count actions, not applause. You can't force a tide, but you can paddle. Log lead measures, reps, drafts, calls, tests because they're under your hands. Lag measures, awards, likes, fireworks. Come when they come and never on your schedule. The inner sentence that keeps you sound is old-fashioned and sturdy. Do good work. Ship on time. Let results ripen. Identity is the house you swear to live in, especially when you're tired. Instead of labels that stick you to the floor, write 3 identity commitments that pull you forward. I am the kind of person who keeps small promises to myself. I am the kind of person who tells the truth kindly, even under pressure. I am the kind of person who learns in public and cleans my mess. Attach a because to each, not for decoration but for durability. Because trust compounds. Because clarity serves. Because growth beats performance theater. Speak them when you lace your shoes, before you enter a tense room, and after a stumble when the judge starts rehearsing his speech. Identity commitments give your feet a reason to move the right way when feelings argue for the ditch. Ambition must be divorced from approval or it will drag you around by the collar. Approval is weather, pleasant when it's warm, irrelevant when you have a roof to raise. Anchor your long game to values you can obey on a bad day. 3 sentences are enough. Service over spectacle. Craft over clout. Consistency over drama. Each one is a switch. When you feel yourself tilting toward performance, flip the switch and ask, what is the useful thing I can make, learn, or fix before the clock blinks twice? Your destiny will thank you for choosing lumber over lint. Map your world into 3 circles: control, influence, accept, and talk to each differently. In control lives your effort, your schedule, your words. Self-talk here starts with I will and ends with a verb. I will draft, ask, practice, show up. In influence lives other people's choices, market weather, the timing of green lights. Self-talk here starts with I'll try and names a nudge. I'll propose, invite, demonstrate. In accept lives the rest, the past, the random, the rain on picnic days. Self-talk here starts with I release and names the thing you won't wrestle. This is not surrender. It's smart carpentry. You don't hammer fog. You build in it with the tools you can hold. Choose waypoints that measure what matters to your manner, not your image. A waypoint is a check you can run weekly. Did I keep 3 small promises to myself? Did I practice the skill that scares me for 15 minutes a day? Did I make 1 clean ask and 1 clean help? Your self-talk at each waypoint is the same 3-beat rhythm we've used before. What went better than feared? Where did I wobble? What will I test next? You're not tallying gold stars. You're steering the boat by the stars you picked at the start. Give your ambition a cadence so it doesn't run you ragged. Hold a weekly compass. 15 quiet minutes where you speak 3 lines into a notebook. Continue, stop, start. Continue. Keep the morning brief and the dayline. Stop. Cut late scrolling. Set a 9:30 shutoff. Start. Pilot the new feedback drill with 2 teammates. Then draft 1 sentence for next week's Dayline and preload 1 first step for Monday so the runway is clear when the sun clocks in. A monthly barn raising, 30 minutes at month's end. Asks 2 deeper questions. What did I build that will still matter in a year? Where did I behave like the person I said I was? This isn't a ceremony. It's maintenance. Farmers oil the hinges before the squeak grows teeth. When choices look equal and your mind spins, give yourself 3 quick tests and trust the first answer that lands. The integrity check. Which option lets me look myself in the eye at day's end? The learning lens. Which option teaches me more in the next 90 days? The service signal. Which option helps someone besides me sooner? Your self-talk afterward is commitment, not backseat driving. I chose. Now I'll make it the right choice with effort. Second guessing is static. Destiny likes a clear station. Practice saying no like a neighbor who respects both fences. I can't take this on and keep my promise to X. I can offer Y or introduce you to Z. The words you speak to yourself before and after are the guardrails. Saying no protects the yes that matters. Boundaries are kindness to future me and present them. If guilt taps on your shoulder, hand it a broom and keep sweeping. Guilt can help by checking tone. It doesn't steer the truck. Build a simple investment script for your future self. Time, money, attention, so you stop buying shiny anxiety and start purchasing compound calm. Say, pay in capability. When tempted to spend on image, ask, will this teach me a skill, buy me time, or build a tool I'll use 100 times? Your self-talk about time is the same. Protect mornings for deep work. Trade late-night scrolling for sleep that pays interest. The old truths keep their shine. Rest is a worker, not a luxury. You can't draw straight lines with a shaking hand. Your words steady your hand by telling your pillow the day is done. Mentors and models are fuel when used cleanly. Your inner sentence here is adopt the values. Adapt the methods. Don't copy someone else's voice. Borrow their virtues and translate them into your accent. I'll keep my word the way she does. I'll enter rooms to serve, not to sparkle, the way he does. When envy whispers, answer kindly, I'm not late. I'm on my road. Then ask what you can do in 2 minutes that honors the horizon you chose. You'll find envy wanders off when it realizes you've got chores and you're content to do them. Watch the story you tell about setback across the long arc. The judge calls it a verdict. The bystander shrugs and calls it weather. The coach calls it a plot point and keeps writing. Your self-talk after a setback should sound like this. That door closed. Good, fewer doors to knock. Next I'll. Then name the next knock. You're not minimizing the loss. You're refusing to make it the theme of your chapter. Replace why me with what now, and watch the road appear where fog sat a minute ago. Let your public words be honest echoes of your private ones. If your dayline is clarity over comfort, your email drafts will grow shorter and kinder. If your identity commitment is, I learn in public, you'll say out loud, I'm unsure about B. Here are 2 ways to test it. Destiny hears the harmony and turns up the volume. Folks trust people whose talk and walk rhyme. Dreaming deserves discipline. When you sketch a big aim, write the book, lead the team, launch the venture. Pair it with a rough road and a real start. Rough road, a 1-minute list of the predictable potholes. Slow progress, rejection, messy drafts, early mornings, followed by 1 line of self-talk you'll use when each shows up. Slow progress, count reps, rejection. Ask for 1 note, Messy drafts. Ship the ugly first pass. Early mornings. Set the coffee the night before. Real start. The smallest verifiable action you'll complete in 48 hours that proves the dream has left your head. Outline 1 page. Invite 2 users. Block a pilot. Finish it and write this to yourself. The road is real because my hands are on it. When the horizon tempts you to sprint every day, use this sentence to pace yourself. Don't outrun your supply lines. Sprints are for tests. Systems are for seasons. Your daily self-talk should protect the 3 systems that keep you humane. Sleep, movement, and quiet. Lights out at 10. Walk at lunch. 7 minutes of stillness when the day changes shifts. Call these non-negotiables by a humble name, basics, and guard them with the firmness you'd use for water and wood. Invite your future self into the room with a question that cuts like a good saw. What will I be glad I started small today? Then answer with a verb you can do in Sandtimer time. Future you will write you thank you notes you'll never read, but you'll feel them in your shoulders when the load gets heavy and something in you says, "We've carried more than this before." That something is evidence and you built it 1 sentence, 1 act at a time. Build a long arc ledger alongside your courage, storm, and reach logs. Once a week, write 3 lines. Evidence I lived my values. Skills that rose a notch. Relationships I strengthened. Keep them factual and plain. Kept 3 small promises. Ran 5 drills on opening a meeting. Introduced Anna to Marco. Their project moved. This ledger is a quiet mirror. On weeks when the world is loud and you feel small, it shows you the steady stature you're earning. Hope is not a mood. It's a math of effort and meaning. When your spirits dip, compute hope properly. If I keep this pace of small, true steps, where will I be in 12 weeks? Say the answer aloud, even if it's a whisper. The judge will present nightmares. You present numbers. Destiny prefers arithmetic over drama. Gather a council of companions who share your manner. Not star chasers, stewards. Agree to a simple circuit. Once a month, each person names 1 horizon line, 1 buoy, 1 identity commitment they're wrestling with, and 1 sentence that helped or needs help. Trade small introductions, not debts. Close with 1 line each will say when the wind hits. Breathe. Name. And serve, don't perform. Community tunes your radio better than solitude can. When you face the crossroads between 2 good roads and time presses, borrow this neighborly line. Pick, then pour. Pick quickly with the integrity, learning, service trio. Then pour yourself into the choice so it becomes the right one. Doubt spends you. Pouring invests you. Your inner sentence for the first 10 days after choosing. Trust the choice by honoring it with action. Only data, not dread, earns a pivot. If your dream scares you because it might change who you are, smile. That's exactly the point. The right words let you grow without losing your core. Hold this pair together. I honor my roots. I extend my branches. Speak it before you try something that makes your hands sweat. Then do the smallest faithful thing. Trees don't argue with spring. They leaf. There will be seasons when you must wait. Approvals, healing, someone else's decision. Waiting doesn't mean idling. Self-talk for those days is dignified and industrious. Prepare the field. Prep materials, drill skills, tidy systems, strengthen relationships. When the light turns green, you'll move with quiet speed because you spent the red building traction. Impatience burns gas. Preparation builds grip. At night, close the day with a line that keeps destiny in the room while letting anxiety walk itself out. Today's sentences shaped today's steps. Tomorrow's sentences will shape tomorrow's. Write one line for morning. Put your tools where morning hands will find them. And sleep like someone who intends to keep a promise at dawn. You're not asking the future to arrive decorated. You're inviting it to arrive honest. Tomorrow we'll weave the last thread. How to make this language not just a method but a manner. How to fold joy and gratitude into the work so your voice stays warm. How to teach what you've learned without preaching. And how to leave a trail others can follow when their own radio crackles. Destiny isn't a trophy on a shelf. It's the trail you leave when your words and your work walk the same road. You've tuned the dial, set your compass, and learned to hold your voice steady when the room heats up. Now turn this language into your manner. Something you wear without thinking, like a well-loved jacket that fits in any season. The last thread is warmth, joy that keeps the engine friendly, gratitude that keeps pride in its place, and teaching that spreads good weather without turning you into a walking sermon. Your future won't be shaped by grim determination alone. It will be shaped by a cheerful discipline, words that work hard and shake hands kindly. Begin with joy on purpose, not by accident. Joy is a worker when you give it a tool. Try the thank you muscle for 7 days. Each day, speak 3 thank yous out loud. 1 to a person you know, 1 to a stranger who made your road smoother, 1 to yourself for a kept promise. Keep them specific so they land with weight. Thank you for sending the draft on time. It made the meeting calm. Thank you for holding the door when my hands were full. Thank you, me, for starting before I felt ready. Gratitude is not decoration. It trains your attention toward what helps. Self-talk follows attention. If you notice good work, your inner voice becomes a better foreman. The shop hums. Pair gratitude with delight, the light step that comes from noticing small wins. When you catch yourself finishing a piece, say, "There, that's like us," as if you were talking about a family trait you're proud of. Sounds simple, and that's the point. Identity grows from repeated sentences. That's like us attaches your effort to a lineage you're choosing. People who keep their word in small things. People who return the tool to the hook. People who stay steady when others tilt. Joy isn't confetti. It's alignment. Let your words make room for rest. Speech that never stops will fray into noise. Call your daily stop by a friendly name. Closing time. Say it out loud when you reach it. Closing time. Tools away. 1 line for morning. Then honor it. You're not abandoning the work. You're maintaining the worker. Your self-talk while you rest is a lullaby with a backbone. A day's honest day. We try again at dawn. If worry bangs on the window, point to tomorrow's appointment. You've learned to give anxiety a schedule. Give it a bedtime, too. Fold gratitude into conflict so it doesn't sour your mouth. When a hard conversation ends, say to yourself, "Thank you for speaking plainly without sharpness." If the other person helped you see a blind spot, send a line that names the kernel. Your note about the unclear opening tightened the whole piece. Appreciate it. Gratitude after friction polishes the tool instead of pitting it. You'll be more willing to pick it up next time. Teach without preaching by inviting, not indicting. Whenever you share this language with someone else, offer a story and a sentence, then a question. Story. A small moment when a line helped you act or calm down. Sentence. The exact phrase. Question. Want to try it together next time? This keeps you from sounding like a judge with a rule book. You become a neighbor with an extra hammer. People borrow hammers gladly when there's no lecture attached. If you lead others, make your shop talk match your self-talk. Start meetings with a line that sets manner over mood. We'll go calm, clear, kind. In tense moments, narrate your process so people see the thermostat, not just the temperature. I'm naming the issue, then I'll propose the smallest test. When someone stumbles, respond with 2 truths and a try out loud. We missed X. We kept Y. Next, we'll try Z by Tuesday. You're not just managing, you're modeling. Your language becomes the room's language, and the room becomes a place where decent work lives. Create small public rituals that spread steadiness. Open a workshop by asking everyone to write a dayline on a card they'll keep. Close by having 2 or 3 volunteers read their lines that worked from the week. After a crunch, run a short better than feared /wobble/ next test recap and display it where people can glance at it later. Rituals make courage communal. They take the weight off any one person's shoulders and put it on the habits you all share. Practice the blessing before and after. Before a big effort, presentation, negotiation, tough call. Bless the moment with a sentence that points outward. May this help someone think or breathe easier. After, bless the people. Thank you for staying with me through the bumps. Blessing is old language, but it still works because it shifts your focus from image to service. Service steadies the knees. Guard humor. It's a friendly glue. Humor that lifts, not lowers, keeps your self-talk from turning into a drill sergeant. Awry well, the soufflé sank, but the oven works. After a stumble turns blame into a plan. You're not mocking the work. You're relieving the pressure enough to keep cooking. A room that knows how to grin without sneering will attempt bolder recipes. When teaching children or juniors, shrink the sentences and keep the verbs. Breathe long. Speak short. Start with a verb. 2 truths and a try. Serve one person. Then catch them doing it right and say the exact line you want to stick. There, you served one person. That's like us. Their future self-talk will borrow your voice. Make it a voice they're grateful to carry. Write a short charter for your own speech. Not a manifesto, just a pocket promise you can keep even on hard days. I speak truth with care. I ask clean. I close loops. I give thanks when I can. Read it Monday morning. Review it Friday before you shut the lights. When you violate it, and you will, because you are human, apologize, repair, and recommit. That cycle keeps your destiny from drifting off course. A charter doesn't make you perfect. It makes you faithful. Plant markers others can follow when their radio crackles. Share your script shelf in a photo with a note that says, "These lines helped me get through a rough month." Publish a small checklist titled "Before Send" that other teams can copy. When you learn a boundary sentence that worked, offer it to your circle with a story. I said, I welcome feedback on the work. I won't continue if we go after each other. And the temperature dropped 10 degrees. You are leaving helpful stones on the path. That's not performance. That's neighborliness. Let your words redeem mistakes by extracting value on the way out. When you must deliver an apology, close it with service and specificity. I'm sorry for missing the review and creating extra scramble. I've added a calendar buffer and will send the summary by 3 p.m. Friday. Is there anything else you need today? Then tell yourself the sentence you've earned the right to believe. We fix it. We learn it. We move. Destiny respects people who carry their end of the beam after they drop it. Anchor joy to effort, not outcome. When a project ships, say, we kept our promises, even if the reception is quiet. When a proposal is declined, say, we ran a clean ask and learned what to improve. This teaches your nervous system to enjoy the building, not just the ribbon cutting. Ribbons flutter for a day. Beams hold for years. Remember that silence is also speech. Sometimes the kind of self-talk is no talk for a minute. Just breathing, walking, letting your shoulders fall and your jaw loosen. A quiet minute trims the barbs off your next sentence. Use silence like a craftsman uses sandpaper. No one applauds sandpaper, but everyone notices the finished chair. When old voices visit, the ones that carry shame, sarcasm, or despair, don't duel them. Thank them for trying to protect you when you were small. Then tell them, we have better tools now. Speak your coach's line and go back to work. You're not erasing your past. You're hiring it as a consultant with limited hours. If you're tempted to quit a good road because it's quieter than you hoped, read your ledgers. Courage, storm, reach, long arc. Let the facts speak. Kept promises 22 days. Handled 3 tough questions with clarity. Made 6 clean asks. 2 became pilots. Practiced the opening drill 14 times. Then say the sentence that keeps faith alive. Quiet progress is still progress. Destiny likes the sound of that and adds a mile to your endurance. Mark seasons with simple, honest ceremonies. At the end of a quarter, gather the small team or your family and speak 3 sentences each. I'm proud I learned. Next, I'll try. Put one object on the table that symbolizes a lesson. A worn-out index card, a tightened checklist, a repaired tool. No pomp, just witness. The human spirit grows in the presence of honest witnesses. When you hand this language to someone younger, tie it to responsibility. These words come with work. Then give them a small job that lets the words earn their keep. Opening the meeting with a dayline, closing with a recap, running the after action in 3 sentences. They will discover what you did. Sentences live best when they carry weight. Hold fast to 2 closing lines that bookend a life. Morning, I aim to be useful. Night, we did the next right thing. If you can say those most days, your destiny will take the shape of steady service, which is finer than any headline. It's also contagious. Neighbors see it and catch it. Rooms learn it and repeat it. The map of your days fills with footprints going the same honest direction. And because endings are beginnings in plain clothes, finish today like a craftsman who trusts tomorrow. Put your tools where morning hands will find them. Write one clean sentence at the top of your file. Next, place your script shelf where your eyes will land before your doubts do. Whisper your charter. Count down with a smile that belongs to someone who knows the path. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step. Listen. Your self-talk is not a choir you keep trying to impress. It's a crew that builds your house. Keep the crew fed with gratitude, directed by clear lines, corrected with kindness, and steadied with service. If you do, the walls will rise, the roof will hold, the lights will go on in rooms you once avoided. People you care about will come in out of the weather and sit at the table you made. And you, tired in the right ways, will look around and say a short, grateful line that fits in any season. This is worth the work.